Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kay. I am in the SAV Kim out of Savannah, Georgia, and I am just waking up. I know, right? I know. What is it? Oh my gosh, it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday. I should not have admitted that, but oh well. Anyway, guys, that's why I look so fresh-faced. We'll call it fresh-faced, not looking rough. Anywho, it's not about me. It's not about me. I just wanted to come on really quickly and bring to you guys this message, okay? And this is more so given with an MLM slant, a direct sales, multi-level marketing slant. However, it could be applicable seriously to anything. I don't care if it's a sports group. Your team could be your family. Your team could be your friends. Who cares? I'm just telling you how people work really quickly, okay? Because I get this a lot. And I celebrate and I talk about my better bodybuilders, and other people in my company have been like, well, Kim, you know, how do you keep your team together? And I keep, we're going to focus on that, okay? So I kind of focus on like 2 Ks, 2 Es, 2 Ps, and I'm going to break those down for you right now, okay? So in keeping your team together, and your team could be any group of people, this is what you want to focus on. First thing is, because everybody thinks it's money. It's money. Either they got to make money or you got to give them money. Like, you got to pay for them to get in, or you got to pay for them to stay in. You got to pay their auto ships. That's not true, y'all. That is not true. It's a number of different things that will keep, because I know plenty of people that are in companies or groups and they're not making any money and they've been there for years. And they're like, I'm sticking and staying. And you're like, yeah, but you need to stop. You need to stop now. And it's difficult to know when. But anyway, let me get to how you can keep your team together, okay? So K, on the 2 Ks, I want you to focus on knowledge and kinship. Knowledge and kinship. Kinship is like community. Guys, there are so many people that feel isolated. They are desperate. They are alone. They only go to work and home, work and home, work and home. And when we were younger coming up, you know, we had groups and clubs and things that we did outside of school, after school, that kept us going, that kept us involved, that kept us feeling alive. We could exert our energy. And when we grow up and become adults, we oftentimes are fuddy-dudds. We don't do any of those things anymore, the majority. That's why when I meet people and they're like, yeah, I have a bowling league, or I'm with the roller derby, I'm like, yes, girl, yes. Hey, what's going on, Karen? I'm just going to stop at Karen. I don't know how to say your last name. And guys, if you're watching on YouTube, this originally began as a Facebook Live. So if you see me shouting out my peeps, just bear with me, okay? And also join me over at Facebook. I'll include a link to the original broadcast below so that you can click on there, send me a friend request, and get the videos when they first come out on Facebook Live. I later put them on YouTube. But anyway, kinship is extremely important. So like, with my better bodybuilders, the people that are directly recruited by me, we have a WhatsApp chat where we communicate with each other daily, and it's at your leisure. It's completely up to you how much or how little you participate. You can mute the chat if you like and just check in when you have time, or you can be a part of the chat continuously. But it really does bond the group, because all of us are from different places. The majority of us have never met face to face, but we feel so close because we're congratulating each other, we're asking each other questions. We know, you know, who is strong in this area or that area, and it's a quick place where all of us can reach out and share tips and tricks and things, and everybody can see it, so that the same questions are not being asked over and over and over again. And that's super important, because I know certain people, like, they don't like for their team members for some reason to talk to each other. It's very strange to me, because if you are the common denominator, you should know your voice, and you should be able to project your voice in a way that attracts the people that you want to you. And like for me, I don't want everybody on my team to be like me. Oh God, no. And I don't want everybody on my team to be the same. But I do want our moral foundation, okay? Our values, our principles to be the same. Different personalities are great. That keeps it spicy, right? That keeps it spicy, right? But the moral fabric, the foundation, has got to be the same. Hey, what's going on, Carolyn? Yeah, what's going on, Carolyn? Oh, Karen says she loves my energy and humor. I appreciate that. Thank you, girl. All right. So kinship is very, very important. The sense of community. When I recruit a better bodybuilder, you know, we welcome each other. We give each other energy. We like, yes, girl. All right. So community, that is the first, that's the first community. Think of it like kinship. Okay. That's one of the first K's. The other first K is knowledge. Y'all, you got to pour into people. You got to tell people something. You got to teach them something. You got to let them feel. If people feel like they are learning, they are growing, they are getting better, they will stay with you. Let me tell y'all something. My sponsor, Carrie Mr. Excitement, he wasn't my first choice. He knows this. But you know what? Life is a trip. And God has a sense of humor. But, you know, I was going to join with a female who was a leader in the company that I found Mr. George in. But the thing is, I had a problem. And I reached out to the female, and I reached out to a few people. And I also reached out to him. And you know who got back with me? Not the chicks. None of the chicks. It was him. And he helped me with the situation that I had, even though he had no monetary gain in doing so. And I said, you know what? That was nice of this guy. Let me find out some more about him. That was many, many years ago, guys. Hey, Juliet. Ernesto, what you doing, brother? Where you been? They don't know asustado. Right? Ernesto's not Spanish. I don't know why I broke into a little Espanol now. But I know everybody who's watching thinks that Ernesto is Spanish, but no. But anyway, yeah, Carrie helped me out with a situation, and that's how I ended up joining him, because I was like, dang, if he would help me and I'm not on his team, imagine the expertise I could glean from him if I were. See? If I were. And let me tell you guys something, because there are a lot of people that's like, yeah, I'm a sponsor monster. That's a dumb phrase to me, a sponsor monster. Like, really? But some people, they just bring people in. Right? You're Panamanian, Ernesto? Okay, well, he is Spanish. Excuse me. Perdóname. I'm Panamanian too, in my dreams. But really, no, I'm just nothing more than a Georgia peach. It's okay. Nurse Nisha, new 250 club, new 250 club member. All right, I know people who don't know me are like, what is she talking about? I'm just celebrating my friend, y'all. All right, but listen, guys. Knowledge is so important. You can keep your team members in the game, in the race, by pouring into them, because it's going to take a while for them to make some money, okay? I'm just going to keep it real with you. You are not going to get rich overnight. You're not even going to pay your water bill overnight for the majority of people. It's going to take a minute, all right? But if you can pour into them, if you can give them some knowledge, I just talked to my team in the WhatsApp group today about taxes. This is what you can write off in your taxes. This is how you need to be tracking your taxes. Like, don't get all willy-nilly with Uncle Sam, because I had a conversation last night with a young lady who was beyond pissed, like all types of curse words in the chat. She was like, excuse my language, but my effing taxes, da 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 da. And I was like, girl, I feel you. But we don't know what we don't know, right? And it's not how much you make, it's how much they take that makes a difference. And if you can stop being so frustrated by the system and instead learn the system and start working it toward your advantage, you won't have these problems with your taxes. If I knew then what I know now, I would have gotten a home-based business or some type of business the moment I entered the workforce, okay? And it's things like, it's certain things out there that the wealthy know that we don't know. And those are the things that keep them and their family from the pits of poverty and bring them into the, prosperity, right? And you got to link arms. Again, this kind of goes hand in hand with kinship, that knowledge base. If you get with a group of people who know more, I mean, oh my God, y'all, it's so awesome and amazing. Napoleon Hill talked about it in the book, The Power of the Mastermind. You alone, you are one brain. You can only apply to your life the solutions that you have. But baby, you lock arms with 10 people who know a little bit more than you, who can do a little bit better than you. And now you have leveraged their minds, their experiences, their errors, their knowledge. And now you can say, hey, I got this situation, y'all. How would you handle it? I know I pay handsomely every single month for private masterminds, for private mentorships, to get the knowledge I need to do what I need to do. But then I also take that knowledge back to my group and say, hey, y'all, in my millionaire mastermind over here, this is what they said to do in that situation. So even though my group is not paying for that information, they still get that information through me. If you are a leader and you're not giving your team knowledge, you're just recruiting them. Like, I just bring them in because, as soon as they come in, people quit. I hear people talk about their team and I'm just like, I'm horrified. I am absolutely horrified. Bring them in because you got to constantly be replacing people. Really? That's how you think? You got to constantly be replacing people? Well, then that's why you're constantly replacing people, because people feel that stankness. Yeah, they feel that disposable mentality, attitude that you got going on. But without pouring into your team, without giving them knowledge, you're nothing more than a pimp. For real. If you just bringing people in so that you can make money off of them, but you're not giving them anything in return, you're nothing more than a pimp. All right, so moving on. Those are the 2 Ks, okay? Kinship and knowledge. And one more thing about knowledge. Knowledge is it's not only knowledge to your team, it's knowledge about your team. Do you know their kids' names, their husband's name, their wife's names? Do you know what they want to do? Do you know everybody in your business doesn't want to be rich? So if you don't have knowledge about what that person really wants, what their goals are, what their dreams are, what their vision is, some people might only just want to make $500 a month, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're pushing them to make $5 million because you want to check match on them and you're like, go, 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 they're going to be like, you know what? Forget this. Ain't nobody got time for that. There are people right now that buy from me and they're in the business. They won't even buy from themselves, but they can't stand their sponsor because their sponsor is trying to make them build a business that they don't want to build. They just want to make a few bucks. They don't want to be on every call. They don't want to go to every convention. They don't want to do those things. And I've told them, hey, I can show you how to buy from yourself. And they like, I don't want no parts of it. Let me just buy from you and keep it simple. So y'all know me, I don't refuse no money. So I'm like, okay. But they are literally in the same business that I am in, but they give me their business because they don't want to work the business because their sponsor is trying to make them take the business someplace that they don't want to go. You got to learn your people. You got to learn your people and you got to respect them as people. So that knowledge part is super duper important. Hey, Dennis said exactly correct. Angel's on here. She said, speak on it, girl. I'm trying to. Okay. So let's go on to the E's. Okay. There's a lot of E's in keeping your team together and keeping them going. And the E's are energy, enthusiasm, and entertainment. Entertainment, guys. I have a saying. It applies to fitness. It applies to my team. If it's not fun, I'm done. If it's not fun, I'm done. Okay? I didn't get grown to do stuff I don't want to do. As a matter of fact, isn't that what we all said when we were younger? We were like, man, I can't wait to be grown. I ain't going to do nothing I don't want to do. Right? So if you bring me in this business and I'm not having fun and I'm not making money, I'm out. Deuces. Okay? So you have got to find a way to keep things spicy, saucy, comical, humorous. In this day and age where the attention span of most people is social, because we constantly have things like coming at us trying to get our attention. If you are not, and I'm not saying you have to be a comedian, but find a way to make the information make sense. I hear people telling people, just read the comp plan. Well, who wants to read the comp plan? Come up with a story. Come up with a way to make it relatable to me. Russell Brunson is a master at this. He's always like, it's kind of like, he'll say something and he'll say, the comp plan is this way. It's kind of like, and he teaches that. It's kind of like those 3 words, and then you relate a story, or you give a comparison, or you tell a parable. I don't care. But you have to find a way to make the information easily digestible to people. And you also have to, you cannot bore people into wealth. It's not going to happen, okay? Because surely if you want to sit up there and not push yourself to help your team want to get this information. And I'm not saying you can do this for everybody all the time, but if you do not push yourself to be more creative, they'll find someone who is. I promise you. Ask me how I know this. Do you know how many people in my company have waited for their inactive period to be up so that they can join my team? Because they just like the way I give the information. So I'm telling you this so that you can do it too. Don't get discouraged like, oh, everybody already in my company. No, they're not. No, they're not. And if they are, guess what? They will become inactive just so they can join back with you. All right? If you are entertaining. And I'm telling you, this is the same thing that works for your clients works for your consultants. But the problem is sometimes when people have client side. They put on the song and dance, dang, 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 to get the clients. But then once somebody joins the team and becomes a consultant, now they get drab and they're like, you on your own, good luck, go make me some money. And they don't put on that same song and dance for their team. Your team, you should go above and beyond, more so for them, because they are trusting you to help them get to where you are. Now, you can't do everything for them, right? It's still their responsibility, but you also have a responsibility to push yourself, to keep them engaged, to relate to them that this is fun, or find a way to make it fun. And guess what? You can't do that if you're not having fun. See, that's the problem. Most of y'all broke and don't know your business, so therefore you're like, I'm confused, and your team feels that confusion, and then everything just shuts down. Okay? The first person you've got to lead is yourself. Once you do that, you get some results, and then you're like, oh, this is fun. Now you can go tell your team this is fun, and then they're going to have fun too. Same thing, enthusiasm, energy. Again, in my WhatsApp chat group, J Baby, Janelle, the 50-year-old who joined on her birthday last year with me and was like, I'm not good with technology, who has been blowing it out of the water. She is so comical in our WhatsApp chat. She is so funny. She'll get in there and do a video with her bonnet on and be like, hey y'all, and we're all cracking up throughout the day. And that is what, again, kinship, enthusiasm, energy, entertainment, energy. Y'all, stop celebrating just the big wins. Somebody just joins your team and they make a sale. Last week I had Randy, Miss Frosty, join the team. Within 24 hours that heifer had a sale. I was like, oh. I don't care how big the sale is. I don't care how small the sale is. The fact that she made a sale within 24 hours, I put it in the group and we all celebrated her. Okay, celebrate your people. My girl Jamie is the quiet storm. Okay, Jamie said, I'm not going to do the business until I get my results. But then Jamie be like, I made a sale. And I'm like, I thought you weren't doing the business. But my girl Jamie won a free product on our Facebook Live on Friday. That product is valued at $60. I was like, oh. Everybody celebrate Jamie. You know what I'm saying? So you constantly got to keep the energy going and realize that, small wins lead to big wins. But most people don't think about it that way. They only look at the big wins. That's a huge misstep, okay? All right, so we're almost done, y'all. The last two things. And keeping your team. Remember, 2 Ks, 2 Es, 2 Ps. The 2 Ks were kinship and knowledge. The 2 Es, well, really, they were 3. Entertainment, energy, enthusiasm. Up. Energy high. Up. Energy high, right? And then the last 2 Ps, promise and the paper. Oh, yes, we get into the good stuff. The promise and the paper. The thing that will keep your team going is the promise. What is the promise they made to themselves? What is the promise they made to their kids when their kids go to sleep at night and they look them in the eyes and they tired of saying, I can't afford that? What's the promise that they hold in their heart for their future? Do you know it? Have you asked them what the promise is? Do you care? No? That's interesting. If you keep that promise ahead of them, the promise will pull them when you can't push them. But you got to know what the promise is, right? And it's not the promise that you make to them. It's the promise that they make to themselves. You got to push them to identify what is it that you really want. And half the time you got to ask that question like 6 or 7 times to get to the root of what they really want. Because when you ask them what they really want, most people say money. No. Why do you want the money? Because I want to buy a new home for my child. Okay, why do you want to buy a new home for your child? Because I want them to see that I can stand on my own 2 feet after divorce. Okay, why do you want them to see that you can stand on your own 2 feet after divorce? Because I want them to respect me, and I want to respect myself, and I want to feel. You got to dig deep with people. But see, everybody nowadays is so surface, so artificial. I guess because it's easy. But the road to success, it's not in the easy lane. So you got to dig deep. What is the promise? And the last one is the paper. That is actually the last thing on the list. And people think that's the only thing on the list to keep their team motivated. They think it's the first thing on the list. It's really the last thing on the list. And good thing, because it's usually the last thing that's going to come. The paper, dollar bills, y'all. Okay, the money. That will keep people motivated. But guys, if that's the only thing that you are focusing on to keep your team motivated, baby, you got problems. Baby, you are in trouble, because money is everywhere. It is all around us. Surely as your comp plan pays 5 ways, 6 ways, 7 ways, there's somebody out there who's saying, we got a brand new comp plan that pays 15,632 ways. Okay, so don't focus on the number of ways that your stupid comp plan pays, because there's going to be another MLM that comes out tomorrow, another company that comes out tomorrow that pays 2 more ways than yours. Who cares? Who cares? This is what I always tell people. Usually you can't access all of the other ways until you get past the first way. And most people never get past the first way. So why are we talking about way number 11,032 when you haven't gotten way number 1? So money is the hardest, easiest thing to acquire. I say it's the easiest thing because technically it's just math, y'all. You have to reverse engineer the numbers. How much money do you want? Okay, great. This is how many sales you have to make. Okay, great. So this is how many people you have to talk to close based on your closing ratio. Okay, so this is how many people you have to prospect in order to talk to that many people, to close them, to hit that ratio, to make that amount of sales, to make your end goal. It's just math. It's not even calculus, y'all. It's the simple math. Plus, minus, dividing, multiplication. It's the simple math. So it's simple, it's easy. However, it's the hardest thing because most of us have a money block. We have a money, paradigm that is not good. So it's hard for us to get over our issues with money, and therefore we put those issues with money on other people. And it makes it very, very difficult to have a cash flow conversation. So a lot of people are not going to get to the money for a while. So again, all of those other things I talked about, kinship, knowledge, enthusiasm, entertainment, energy, the promise, those things all build up to give the person enough strength so that, bam, they can now finally get the money. And yes, the money will keep them motivated, but the money is the last thing on the list. Because like I said, you can do anything for money. You can sell poop and call it manure, world's finest manure, and make money. You can literally do anything and make money doing it if you do it right. So do not focus on the money. Money is important, but that's the last thing on the list. So guys, that is how you keep your team in the game. That is how you keep your team motivated. Remember, keep, KKEEPP, knowledge, kinship, energy, enthusiasm, promise, and paper. That is how you keep your team in the game. I hope you guys like this. If you did, leave a comment below. If there's somebody that you think needs to see this, you want me to be the bad guy, you don't like your sponsor, you don't like how they rolling, share it with them and just be like, hey, watch this. I will give them this information for you. Well, now some of y'all on this team, I know your sponsors personally, and y'all have great sponsors. Y'all did a great job in selecting a person to help you meet your goal. Others of you did a favor, and then you found out, this is actually a real business and I really want to do this thing. But now you linked up with somebody that you did a favor for and they have no clue how to tell you what to do, right? So share this with someone, keep it for yourself. Definitely like the video if you liked it. If you're watching on YouTube and this is your first time, hit that red subscribe button and also the bell to the right, ding dong, so every time I upload a new video you will be the first to know. All right, y'all, I'll see you later. I gotta go do some stuff before my 8 o'clock training. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, Judy! I always do that. I say bye and then I start talking again.